Massachusetts Mermaids, The Legacy of Frank and Martha Cahoon by Sage Barca-Hall. For my investigative object, I chose a painting that has personal significance to me. A print of this Cape Cod seascape, titled Up in the Air, hung in my childhood home. It depicts a fantastical, surreal version of beachgoers flying kites and relaxing with a mermaid. It was painted by my great-aunt Martha Cahoon. Martha and her husband Ralph were folk artists who painted idyllic and fantastical scenes of New England. They used inspiration from fine art to transcend the realm of primitive folk art and create romantic and serene coastal scenes which evoke such an emotional response from the viewer that their artwork is highly valued today. Their legacy lives on in the community that they helped shape, as well as their artwork, which is still treasured by many. Martha was born in Boston in 1905 to two Swedish immigrants. She moved to Cape Cod in 1915, where she eventually met her husband Ralph. Martha's father was a talented furniture decorator, and she carried on his legacy with her husband. Martha taught Ralph the techniques she had learned from her father, and they worked together restoring and decorating furniture for many years, as well as plates, bowls, and tins. Ralph's father was a fisherman, and he couldn't help but put his love for the sea into everything he did. Ralph's work features ocean scenery, boats, sailors, kites, balloons, and most of all, mermaids. He painted mermaids into everyday scenery, giving his work a magical feel. Up in the Air is a painting which exemplifies the Cahoon style. It is a beach landscape featuring a variety of figures gazing out to sea. We see several well-dressed gentlemen, one helping his family fly kites, one relaxing against a fence post, and another appreciating the scenery. There are children playing and enjoying the scene, even a baby sitting amongst some wildflowers. Everyone appears relaxed. As in many Cahoon paintings, the ocean scenery borders on the fantastical. There are two miraculous hot air balloons floating above a large sailboat, expanding the sense of wonder in the vista. And like so many works by the Cahoons, we see a mermaid, casually placed amongst the more realistic beachgoers. The Cahoons' consistent depiction of mermaids casts an air of magical realism to their work, and creates a sense of childlike wonder. In this piece, Martha chose to use mostly warm, light colors, which help evoke a relaxed feeling, unlike the darker, bolder colors used in some of the more intense Cahoon paintings. The low-intensity colors help suggest a clear, but not too bright day, ideal for appreciating the beauty of the New England coast. The vista is given depth by the atmospheric perspective used in the distant ships and balloons. The way the farthest ship fades into the distance helps to show the massive expanse of the sea and to grant a sense of openness to the scene. This is reinforced by the use of negative space in the center right. Cahoon left an empty area on the horizon just where one central figure is pointing. The audience is invited to gaze across the sea with him. The diagonal and curved lines on the coast suggest movement and activity in the foreground, while the long, flat line of the horizon creates a sense of stillness and openness. Edward Hicks' The Peaceable Kingdom was painted nearly 100 years before Up in the Air, but many elements are similar. The way all the animals are peacefully interacting creates a sense of surrealism similar to the Cahoon's mermaids. The sleeping dogs and playful babies remind me of the relaxed beachgoers, and the low intensity of the colors creates a similarly relaxed feeling. The perspective created by the dull, distant background creates an expansive sense of the space, and just like in Up in the Air, our eye is drawn out to the negative space left near the horizon. Ralph and Martha were modern folk artists, and here are two examples of objects decorated by them. They are simple, beautiful, and rustic. These works of art are so revered by New Englanders and folk art lovers that to this day, original Cahoon pieces sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Having one of these in your home brings a piece of serene Cape Cod relaxation into your life. The cabinet is a classic Cahoon piece, combining the upbeat beach scenery they are famous for with their skills of restoring antique furniture, and of course, they feature a mermaid. This piece was done using more saturated, high-intensity colors than Up in the Air, perhaps because it was meant to be put on display, and to be practical and easy to appreciate from a distance. The plate is still displayed in my mother's living room. It features mostly cool, dark colors. The landscape is simplified, allowing the viewer to focus on the romance between the two figures. Perhaps this was meant to celebrate the love between Ralph and Martha. Cahoons are modern folk artists who decorated plates and bowls. Stan Weymouth is another modern folk artist. He decorates bowls in the tradition of his Native American ancestry. This example is used in potlatch ceremonies, and the decorations indicate a specific family it is intended for. While Ralph and Martha's decorations celebrate the natural beauty of the ocean, decorations on a potlatch bowl help confirm status and social order within a group. Weymouth's halibut feast dish was carved and then painted using bright colors. It features abstracted animal designs which blend with geometric patterns. The home of Ralph and Martha Cahoon from 1945 to 1984 has since been turned into the Cahoon Museum of American Art. In addition to being able to appreciate and cherish Cahoon works of art, the museum is a center of community activity and education. The legacy of my not-so-distant relatives, Frank and Martha Cahoon, lives on in each of us that owns or views the works of art they created. Now, decades after they passed away, their influence on the community is cemented by each person that comes to the museum to appreciate what they created and to learn more about folk art.